At the old haunted house. I wonder if this one's going to be spooky. At the old haunted house, in a room with no sun, lived a warty green witch and her wee witchy one. "Spell!" cried the witch. "Poof!" cried the one, and they both practiced spells in the room with no sun. At the old haunted house where a cold draught blew lived a big ma monster and her wee monsters too. "Stir!" called the ma. "We stir!" cried the two, and they whirred and they stirred while the cold draught blew. By the old haunted house in the dead hollow tree lived a scrawny black cat and her wee kittens three. "Scratch!" cried the mother. "Meow!" cried the three, and they scratched and they growled in the dead hollow tree. At the old haunted house with the squeaky old floor lived a green pa goblin and his wee goblins four. "Dust!" called the pa. "We dust!" said the four, and they spread lots of dust on the squeaky old floor. At the old haunted house where scary things jive lived a ma werewolf and her wee wolfies five. "Howl!" cried the ma. "Ow!" railed the five, and they yowled and they howled where scary things jive. In the old haunted house in a vault made of bricks lived a papa vampire and his little vamps six. "Show fangs!" papa cried. "Hiss!" went the six, and they snarled and they shrieked in the vault made of bricks. At the old haunted house teaching a lesson was a hairy mom bat and her bitty bat seven. "Dip dive!" cried the mom. "Flip flap!" went the seven, and they dipped and they dove in their dip diving lesson. By the old haunted house near the graveyard gate lived a spooky dad ghost and his wee ghosties eight. "Haunt!" cried the dad. "Boo!" cried the eight, and they booed and they floated through the graveyard gate. At the old haunted house, half covered with vines, lived a mummy mommy and her wee mummies nine. "Mix!" called the mommy. "We mix!" called the nine, and they stirred and they mixed in the house with the vines. At the old haunted house in the dusty old den lived a fat ma spider and her wee spiders 10. "Spin!" cried the ma. "Weave ho!" said the 10, and they spun sticky webs in the dusty old den. At the old haunted house the front door creaked. "Trick or treat!" yelled the children, and the ghosts shrieked, "Eek!" "Come in!" called Ma Mummy. "The monsters made stew, the mummies made cake, the witches zapped brew." The creatures all grinned as they struck up the band, and the spiders all swung on sticky web strands. The ghosties floated as the music played, black cats scratched and werewolves bayed. The vampire band played music all night, and they all had fun at the Halloween fright. That's interesting. I didn't think it was going to be a party.